Welcome everyone. So my vision is to one day create a summer program where students can learn Spanish so that after a series of 3 sessions, they most likely could test out of a high school Spanish 1 course. In my opinion, the only way to reach that goal well is to create a blended learning environment. What this means is that part of the time students, or as I call them in the syllabus at times, participants, are interacting with their instructor and their peers face to face, and the other part of the time they are learning through an online learning environment. Today I'm going to introduce you to the student side of this learning environment. That is what you see here. The learning management system that I'm using is called Schoology. So one of the items students will have at their disposal when they are online is a course, or as I call it, a session, syllabus. I created this syllabus for a KSP 680 class, but ideally I would like to transfer the information in it to the website of my business. I just haven't created the website yet. So let's take a look. The way to get to the syllabus is to go here to the course that's set up, and right here students could click on the syllabus and take a look at the information. Obviously for young students this would be more information that they would need, but again, if the information was posted on a website for parents, this would be some of the information they would be interested in, and students could refer to get information like contact information that they need. So, as I state in my syllabus, parents and students at the time of enrollment as I state in my syllabus, and let me re-say that because I got a little confused there. I do not expect my parents or students at the time of enrollment to have any knowledge of Spanish or cyber literacy, only a broadband connection. However, as explained in my syllabus, if you look down at this part right here, after students enroll in a session at my center, but before they are given a passcode to log in to the online learning environment, both parents and students will need to read or review some information about behavior and responsibilities online and sign a form stating that they have read and understood the information. Those that want the information given to them via email or eventually my website can access it that way, but hard copies will be available to all that need them. This, in my opinion, is the first step to developing cyber literacy. Cyber or digital literacy is characterized in different ways by different authors. In the 2004 Journal of Educational Multimedia and Hypermedia, Yorham Eshet Alkalai is in his work entitled Digital Literacy, a Conceptual Framework for Survival Skills in the Digital Era, contends that there are 5 kinds of literacy that fall under the term digital literacy. One of them is socio-emotional literacy, which refers to the socio and emotional aspects of being present online, whether it may be through socializing or collaborating or simply consuming content. My hope is the above-mentioned protocol will develop in both students and their parents greater digital literacy by first developing socio-emotional literacy. Although this literacy will continually need to be further taught, defined, and practiced like behavioral rules in a classroom, it is important, in my opinion, to start teaching it before they even get online. Once students are enrolled, logged in online, or once students are enrolled, careful planning and attention will be given so digital skills are taught and practiced. If you look at the section of the syllabus entitled Student Goals, The fourth student goal stated is for the development of greater digital literacy. I referenced 3 websites. The first website lists the 5 NEPT goals on pages 18 through 23. The third takes you to the International Society for Technology and Education, the ISTE standards, and the other site more specifically addresses how such standards can be intertwined with second language curriculum. These 3 sets of goals are defined by 3 websites. By these 3 websites will be aligned with my curriculum. There are the best practices. These are the best practices currently. Not all can be documented through Schoology, however, easily. Since blended learning environments vary greatly, there is always the important question, what does this specific online learning environment look like? How much time are students most likely going to be online? When and for what purposes? What are the students going to learn online, and how is it going to support and benefit them as learners? Will there be synchronized as well as asynchronized learning happening online? Much of this, again, is explained in my syllabus. If you look at the section regarding guidelines, right here, students during our time together will be asked to participate in our online learning community from time to time. When students are meeting with us face-to-face, usually no more than an hour and 15 minutes each day of the 3 hours we meet will be dedicated to online learning. Since it is summer and they are not in school, that seems to be a reasonable time frame. Our goal is to effectively teach and prepare our students for the future, but also keep them healthy and fed, and to keep them engaged in a variety of teaching approaches. We will reserve student participation in the online environment for the following purposes: to assess and/or document learning, to personalize instruction and learning, to learn beyond our physical time together, to collaborate with peers and staff when they are not available to speak with directly, to conduct research, and to demonstrate their creativity and present their innovations. In other words, students will be online for learning, assessment, research, creation, and/or necessary communication and collaboration. During the school year, when we are not meeting face-to-face, students will review material covered every 2 to 3 weeks via the online learning environment for 1 to 2 hours. The purpose will be similar to the above, but there will be a focus on retention, making connections to what was learned with their real world, and documenting their level of retention. So the next question is, what are students going to learn online, and how is it going to support and benefit them as learners? Well, here is an example. So let's say students are currently in a unit about colors. Let's go for a moment to so let's just click out of the syllabus and go back to materials. And as you can see here, so when students come, let's go back to the introductory homepage. So students come here and they get welcomed, and then there's some instruction about how they can learn where to find activities. So it tells them here to click up here on courses, find their course, and then take a look at the material. It tells them to start this as their first activity, but you'll notice some of the other things, and I have these things available to the students, but I could hide, for example, the quiz until they were ready to take it. But as you can see here, there's a variety of activities about colors. So if our unit is on colors, after the students have been introduced to colors during a face-to-face presentation and interacted with their peers to learn them in a variety of ways, students either during class or afterwards for review can click here, for example, on Quizlet. And here they can further learn their colors. They can learn their
azul,
pronunciation in Spanish. There's tests and different games that they can play using the vocabulary. So with the quizzes on Quizlet, students could also get feedback on how well they are learning their colors. There's the ability to load audio up and have the students listen to songs and then be able to play them as much as possible at their own speed, and review the colors and their pronunciation that way. For personalizing things, students could respond to a discussion on colors. And here, for example, is a project in which the students find pictures of things of various colors and then write the colors underneath it. In this discussion board, students are asked what is their favorite color, and then they respond accordingly and see other people's information as well. Right now, I don't see a way directly on Schoology to have a synchronized learning activity. We as teachers and as the director will need to manage our online learning environment with the same attention with which we manage our face-to-face learning environment. In other words, we will need to create or find quality curriculum to present to our participants, encourage them to interact with that curriculum in meaningful ways, be aware of all that is happening during that process, evaluate regularly the learning process, and document growth. Students through the online learning environment will be able to give comments to one another through a discussion board, but as stated in the syllabus, parents are encouraged to review students' posts before they are posted. Teachers will monitor social interactions online and give feedback to students in regards to their comments. In this way, students can receive personal attention to their concerns and questions and be given further guidance on how to behave online. I appreciate your time this evening and thank you so much. Have a good night.